Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission really is to cut through all the noise and get you the essential knowledge you need fast.
And thoroughly, yeah.
Exactly. So if you've ever felt just overwhelmed by, all the streaming choices out there,
We're just frustrated by those cable bills that seem to creep up every single month.
then you're definitely in the right place today. We're taking a closer look, a deep dive into a specific solution that's presented in the source material we've got here.
Right, we're digging into claims from a piece called Easy Vision TV, the ultimate streaming solution. The idea is to unpack what this source actually promises about, well, streaming smarter and maybe cutting ties with those pricey TV packages.
And the first thing that jumps out, it's a really bold claim in this source.
Oh, yeah.
It talks about this service, Easy Vision TV, and claims it has over 99,000 channels.
99,000?
Yes, 99,000. Everything, apparently. Live sports, movies, shows, tons of international content, too. And according to the source, it starts at just $25 a month.
Okay, that's quite a contrast.
It is. The source makes that contrast really sharp. It points out how many folks are, and I'm quoting here, still paying $200 a month for TD packages stuffed with channels you don't watch.
Or, yeah, the other quote, the $150 plus cable bill with half the channels and none of the perks.
Right. So this piece, it positions Easy Vision TV as like this potential gem for people wanting to live smart, stream smarter.
And what's interesting there is how the source isn't just calling it another streaming service.
Yeah.
They use the phrase, a complete entertainment universe.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
It really is. That claim, so much content for what seems like a very low price.
Yeah.
Definitely makes you wonder how they'd pull that off, what the model is behind it.
Okay, so let's unpack that entertainment universe idea a bit, starting with the live sports. The source is pretty emphatic here.
What does it say exactly?
It promises every game, every fight, all in HD, and it lists the big ones: NFL, NBA, UFC, boxing, soccer.
So basically, if you're a sports fan, they're claiming you're covered.
That seems to be the implication, yeah. Any major live event, it should be there.
Which, that's a huge selling point. Sports packages are notoriously expensive and fragmented.
Absolutely. And it's not just sports. The source also claims access to premium movie channels. Think HBO, Showtime, Stars, Cinemax.
Wow. Okay, so bundling those in, that would normally require several separate, pretty costly subscriptions.
Exactly. And then for people who miss shows, it mentions watching TV series when you want, so some kind of catch-up or on-demand feature seems to be included.
Okay.
But it gets broader. This universe is also supposed to be, well, global.
Right. The source highlights international channels, specifically mentioning Arabic, UK, Latino, Caribbean, Filipino content, all in one spot.
Which is interesting.
If you think about the big picture, it suggests they're aiming for this, global content hub, maybe replacing those niche international packages some people pay extra for.
And the source really hammers home the simplicity aspect. It says, no extra fees, no hidden contracts, just plug and play.
Transparency.
Yeah.
That would certainly be a departure from the usual cable bill confusion.
So, okay, they promise this huge universe of content. How easy is it supposed to be to actually access it?
Well, the source is very clear on compatibility. It claims Easy Vision TV works on, and I quote, everything.
Everything. Like what?
Like Android boxes, Amazon Firestick, Fire TV, iPhones, iPads, smart TVs, NVIDIA Shield, lots of the common stuff, even laptops or PCs through a web portal.
So pretty much any device you'd likely use for streaming already.
That's the claim.
Yeah.
And it also says you don't need to be tech savvy.
Yeah.
Apparently, their site has step-by-step installation guides.
Okay, because ease of setup is definitely a factor for a lot of people.
For sure. And the source uses this little story, this anecdote, to kind of illustrate that. It says, my 60-year-old uncle got his setup running in 15 minutes, and now he's watching cricket from India like it's cable.
Huh. So painting a picture of it being really straightforward, trying to ease fears about tricky tech, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, let's pivot to the value, the money side of things, because this is where the source really draws that line between this service and traditional cable.
Yeah, the pricing tiers are laid out. There's a basic plan.
Right, $25 a month. That gets you one stream, but full access to all the content, apparently.
Then there's a family plan for $40 a month. That lets you stream on 2 to 3 devices at the same time.
Okay, for households. Makes sense.
And then a premium plan is $65 a month. That's for multiple devices, and they say maximum resolution.
And the source is really insistent on this point. No taxes, no price hikes, no nonsense. Plus, flexibility, cancel or upgrade anytime.
which, again, if true, is a direct challenge to the way cable companies often operate with contracts and unexpected bill increases.
All right.
That level of control is appealing.
Definitely. Okay, beyond just the content and the price, what about things like customer support
Right.
or the actual stream quality? Does the source touch on that?
It does. It makes a pretty bold claim about next-level support.
Next level, how so?
Well, it reports fast responses through live chat or email, help with setup if you need it, and regular updates to keep the stream quality high. It even claims they listen to the community for channel requests.
Responsive. That's good, if accurate.
And about the viewing experience itself. The source describes the streaming quality as smooth,
Yeah.
with a clean interface, and specifically not bogged down with buffering and garbage.
Nobody likes buffering.
Nobody. The source calls it pro level. So if that holds up, it suggests they're really focused on reliability and a good picture, which could be a make or break thing in streaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's something I found interesting. The source talks about how people are actually using this service in the real world, the different applications.
Oh, right. Like what?
Well, some people are apparently replacing their entire home cable setup with it, which is a pretty big step, financially and just habit-wise.
Totally cutting the cord, yeah.
Others are using it specifically for those overseas channels, connecting with family or culture.
And didn't it mention something about pay-per-view?
Yes. Catching PPV fights with friends, those usually cost extra, right? So that implies some savings there, too.
Definitely.
And it even claims people are using it in businesses like barbershops, hookah lounges, Airbnbs, running TVs there.
Huh. So it's not just for home use then. That suggests a lot of versatility.
That's exactly the word the source uses. It says it's that flexible. One account stream from anywhere. So the idea that sort of travels with you home, vacation, your business.
Which really breaks from that old model of TV being tied to one specific box in one specific location.
So let's try and synthesize this. What's the bottom line according to this source material?
Well, the ultimate claim seems to be that Easy Vision TV combines the best of Netflix, Hulu, cable, and international TV all in one platform for a fraction of the price.
So positioning itself as this one-stop shop for basically all your entertainment needs, but affordable.
Exactly. A comprehensive solution addressing both what you want to watch and what you want to pay.
And that starting price point, the $25, is really the key takeaway the source keeps highlighting for affordability and getting all that content.
Right. And if any of this sounds intriguing, the source points people to their website, www.easyvisiontv.com, to check it out.
Okay, so we've done our deep dive into the claims from this source about Easy Vision TV. We've unpacked how it's presented as this major alternative in the, let's face it, very complicated streaming world.
Promising big savings, huge content libraries, really addressing that desire you mentioned earlier to find efficient solutions, get informed quickly.
Right, it connects back to that need to navigate this stuff without getting totally lost or broke.
So beyond just the money you might save, which is obviously a big part of the claim, here's maybe something to think about.
You're on.
If a single platform could actually deliver on a promise, this vast, so much content, so affordable, what would the sort of deeper implications be for how we consume entertainment, how we prioritize what we watch?
Yeah, how much control we actually want over our viewing experience as everything keeps changing so fast online.
Exactly. It makes you ask, what does value really mean when it comes to your entertainment?
Yeah.
Especially when faced with a claim of getting, well, seemingly everything for very little.
Definitely some food for thought there.